Hello, everybody. How are you guys today? I'm going to close that door because I don't want you guys to have to listen to hubby's meeting or him to have to listen to mine. That should be a little bit better. Oh, let's see. This isn't cool. Hi, Kim. I figured you weren't going to make it because you haven't been feeling good. I'm glad to see you here. Yay. And then I'm trying to. Well, I had this all set up so that it would work off my other camera. I guess it won't let me do that while I'm here. Darn it. It's okay. We will punt, right? So what I'm going to be working on today is this. And it is a pumpkin. If you're laying comfy in your bed, that's good. Always nice to lay there in nice clean sheets with hopefully a nice cold drink or a warm drink, whichever's more appealing to you today. But this is what I'm going to work on. I guess I'm glad I did as much as I did off camera because I have already drawn this out on heat and bond and attached it to my fabric. So, hi Marianne, how are you today? Oh, before I get too far into this today, um, my county just came under a tropical storm watch from Hurricane Ian. Still not sure how much of it we're going to get, and it could be nothing, could be just a thunderstorm for us, or into a real mess because hurricanes are known for turning. And what I'm doing is I'm cutting out my little pieces here that I've already got the heat and bond on. I was going to do this all on camera for you, but I had pre-scheduled the live and I pre-scheduled it from the other computer. So when it came to this one, it picked up the camera on the computer instead of the HD camera that I wanted to use today. Sorry about that. But I figure I'll cut pieces out for a little bit until a few more people get here. Oh, anyway, as far as the hurricane goes, I may not be able to go live on Thursday. A lot's going to depend on what this hurricane does. The last hurricane that actually hit our area, we ended up without power for 8 days. So it's probably a really good thing that we got a community tab when we did. I hope Ian does too, but I have a feeling he's going to come closer than I'd like. So, well, it happens, right? It's part of living in Florida. But we didn't have power for 8 days last time. Our power company is a small cooperative. Well, hello, Nightbot. You're already on the job. And it sometimes takes them a little while to get going after the hurricane. That also means that we may or may not have cell phone service. And if not, and we're able to get out, because the biggest risk for us right now is probably flooding. But if we are able to get out, I will use my community tab to let you guys know that I'm okay. And the last time, the way it worked was we had work out here. We had service for about 2 minutes every 30 minutes or something. So I will try to post to the community tab. Hey Tracy, how are you today? And let you guys know, at least that we're okay. Some of you will worry, like Tracy. So, yeah. Hi, Lori. How are you today, Sherlock? So, always nice seeing everybody come in. And all of you who are here probably already know this, but we hit a little over 600. Went up to 634 yesterday and then dropped down to 627 today, which is fine. That just means YouTube is keeping me safe from the trolls. I finally called them and asked. I was like, what is this? And the answer is that sometimes bots subscribe to everybody who comes up on the shorts feed, and I've been doing a lot of shorts. So they go through after, every few hours. I guess it's some kind of algorithm thing that does it. But they go through and eliminate bots from your subscriber list, or you could lose a subscriber because they have pulled a spammer out for some reason. Hi, Sylvia. How are you today, honey? You guys, if you haven't checked Sylvia's projects out, she's put up some really cool ones in the last couple of days. She's got a Highland cow that is so cute, it's not funny. It's got a daisy in its mouth with a little button center. I was like, oh, that's adorable. And what I'm working on today is the pumpkin picture. That was the thumbnail for this. And I know you guys can't see what I'm doing, but I had already drawn the stuff onto the heat and bond using my light box. And I have all that set up for you to be able to see. But when I came live, it gave me the wrong camera. So it used the camera on the computer instead of the camera on my Hue camera, my little desktop one that I can wiggle around. So I'm cutting pieces out and then but if you're interested in making the same one, I'm not big on Halloweeny stuff, but I do like pumpkins. And I've got a background piece made, and I flipped the piece of paper over and I turned on my light box under here. I've got the plug over there. And I traced it in reverse onto my heat and bond, and now I'm cutting the pieces out. Like I said, I was going to do, show you all those steps on camera, but YouTube has other ideas, apparently. So what I'm doing is, this is the centerpiece of my pumpkin. So I'm cutting them out with my little embroidery scissors. I still think that's an adorable cow, Sylvia. It is just too cute for words. And she did a Harry Potter quilt with a Quidditch broom. Is that how you say that? I could be wrong. I've never heard the word said. Yeah, I thought the pumpkin was really cute. It's a coloring page. That link is also in the description box, Marianne, in case anybody wants to make one for themselves. I just hate when they say, oh yeah, I got this free online somewhere, and they don't have a link to it. A broom, a Harry Potter broom for your Harry Potter quilt. How do you say it? Quidditch or Kidditch? Do you pronounce it like quiche or quiche? All right, so that's all my little pieces. Yeah, well, yeah, I always want to see the pattern. I may really like the pattern. Quid. Okay. I may really like the pattern, but if you don't give me a link to it, what am I supposed to do? So here's my background. I kind of see the pumpkin sitting on a table. And at first I had a red checkered tablecloth, and I thought that's gonna kill the color of my pumpkin. Let's see if I can get you guys over there a little bit more so you can see. You guys see a little better that way? Because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Let's see. I think it was better before. Oh, I love fandom and stitches. And it's come up quite a few times here lately, talking to different people. Okay, so you may be able to see this. I'm going to hold it up here. Drew a number on the back of the piece. And this isn't a real complicated picture, obviously. But when I was tracing the pieces off, trying to get it so you guys can see it, I drew numbers on the back of there too. Hello, Shirley. I may sound a bit muffled. Let me see if I can. No, I'm on the right microphone. Hi, Math Geek. I don't know what a BEW is, but okay. So this is what I'm making, and I drew numbers, like I said, on the back of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's numbers up here. I didn't trace out the B because I got those B buttons as part of my birthday stuff, and I thought that I would use those as part of this. But I'm going to peel the, still isn't where you guys can see it great. Oh, awesome, Sylvia. You know I love pincushion. All right, so I'm just going to peel the backs off my pieces. And I know one side of my pumpkin is a different color from the other. I'm actually still good with that. I boo-booed when I was ironing stuff to my fabrics. And I thought, well, let's do this again. It is what it is, right? And I did use my acrylic mats today. I was thinking about Sassy. That's why I brought that up. I had one piece of fabric that was super narrow. Can you see how that is shiny on the back? That's the way it's supposed to be. This is 5. And that means that the glue from the heat and bond has transferred over to the back of this. And it didn't on that one piece. Okay. And I'm going to sew this all when I get done. Going to apply some heat to the back of that one piece so the heat and bond will peel off of it and leave the glue behind. I'm going to do some, excuse me, applique on my baby lock here, which is one of the reasons that we're in here. I'm trying to let that piece cool off a little bit before I mess with it. And I can set it down on here. For Tracy at Craft a Simple Life, yeah, she's there. I don't have one for Tracy Albert. I don't know where to send people for them to visit with her at, except Discord, which is where I visit with her at a lot. There we go. I knew I had lost a piece. I don't have my little twirly. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. I hope the doctor's office is just a routine visit for you. This is the piece I was dreading cutting the most because it's all these little curly cues. It's the little tendril that goes up and off to the side up here. It gives that other piece a chance to, yeah. I was trying to make sure it was in camera for you. Gives that other piece a minute to cool while we're doing it. And do I sound muffled to anybody else besides Shirley? Not quite sure what's going on with that. Could be I'm not talking as loud because my husband's on a conference call in the other room. So it could be all me. His co-workers all get a little loud whenever they're talking. And I closed the door because one of them has got a potty mouth. And I didn't want you guys catching any stray cursing. Just let me know. This one I was dreading. I hate cutting circles out of heat and bond. Makes it harder to peel, in my opinion. And I don't know how you guys feel about it. I try to have a project to do for or with you guys whenever I get on here, but I sometimes still end up I do the project and I'm all done, and then I'm just sitting here chit chatting. That's not teaching you anything, although I don't mind you guys. But I kind of feel like to pay my rent, I need to be able to talk to you too. Now this, I cut these just a hair bigger so they can overlap at those edges. That's a tip I learned from Lisa at Lisa Cape and Quilts. It's a pumpkin and it'll pretty much go however you want it to go, you know? And pumpkins are a natural thing, so if it doesn't turn out to look exactly like the picture, I'm okay with that too. All right. And what I'm doing now is I'm trying to make sure that like my little tendril piece goes up underneath the piece next to it. Set that down, and then I'm going to turn you up a little bit and put, and these don't all actually have to sit on top of one another at all. Here's what I've got so far. And each of these two sides is two pieces. And I can wiggle things around until I'm comfortable with them. Because this is heat and bond, they're not going to stick until I actually iron them down. And this is way similar to what we did on the chickens. When we did the chicken salad, you put them down, you kind of get them where you want them, and then you move them how you like until it pleases your eye, you know? This isn't a competition, and this isn't, oh, you know, Joe Schmo's got to like it. Who cares what Joe Schmo thinks? I care about what I think about it, and I like it. So now what I'm going to do is I've got my iron over here. It's hot, and I'm going to set my iron down. And I like to do it like this. I just like to set it down and then hold it for a few seconds. I think Heat and Bond says it needs 5 to 7 seconds to hold it down. I'm looking at my instructions. 6 seconds. And this is, wrong camera, Melissa. This is what I'm using, the purple Heat and Bond. And the purple Heat and Bond is Heat and Bond Light. This stuff you can sew through. Now I have some Ultra Heat and Bond, which is in a red package. You cannot sew through the red package Heat and Bond. And the reason you can't sew through it is because it's sticky on your needle and it just doesn't do well. I am moving my iron a little bit now that I've got it all down, but just to make sure that I've done everything I should have done. All right, and then that's ironed onto my little table. And then what I'll do is I will put I have bolts of SF101, which is just a fabric stabilizer. So I will put SF101 on the back of this. Hey, Stephanie, how are you today, Sass? But I have bolts of SF101. I bought it when it was like 40 or 50 cents a yard at Joann's a few years back before the pandemic. And I will put some on the back of this. And then I will probably put batting and backing on it before I go to actually applique it, because I want blanket stitch applique. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sylvia. I gave her red instead of purple, even though the package was the right color. Um, See, and that little piece right there is trying to come off. I had to splice two pieces together on that one side of the pumpkin, but it will stay in place once I start doing my applique for it. And I have another little piece that's coming up, so apparently I didn't give it enough heat. But I'll back it. I will put my quilt batting on it, which is probably actually going to be like a piece of terry cloth or something. And then I'll do my applique through at least the top two layers, if not all three, because I kind of want the puffiness behind the applique. And for this, the way the picture is drawn, it suggests a blanket stitch to me. So that's what I think I'm going to do. And Sassy is working like a mad, mad, mad woman today. Hopefully she gets everything she's working on done. She was telling us she wanted to finish piecing a quilt, get it sashed, and hopefully quilted today. And I'm like, you go, girl. Hello, Colleen. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, the link for the pumpkin picture is in the description, Steph, if you want one for yourself. And let's see, the other thing I wanted to show you. If you saw my birthday haul, oh, look at her go. The sashing's halfway done. Dang, Stephanie. She's just killing it today. Guys, I don't know if you know, but Steph, when she's on, she's on. Once I get our little guy all done, I'm planning, let's see if I can hold it up here with it so you can see it. I'm planning to give him a bumblebee button instead of putting that bumblebee on there. Oh, he's got an upside down and a right side up. So they have a bumblebee flying in there. I'm going to put a bumblebee. Okay, Marianne, no problem. I will definitely look at that. And the only reason that's a YouTube thing that hides it. So that's fine. I'll be happy to look at that, Marianne. Um, the link for this is in the bottom. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else regarding this one. This was a free coloring page. Well, hello, Laura Lynn. I'm happy that you have appeared. I've been checking Facebook for updates. They just got hit by Fiona, I think was the hurricane. But looks like everybody's safe, and Pop is finally getting to come home. So I'm happy to hear that, and thank you for checking in. That's awesome. We're getting ready to visit her brother Ian, and I'm hoping that he'll be as gentle to us as he can be. But yeah, I'm glad that you guys are okay. I saw that she and Marcus have been glamping, so I hope that that means they have all the comforts of home without having too many inconveniences, water and all that stuff. But I'm going to do this now. It's going to take me way more than half an hour to do this applique and everything. Do you guys want to watch that, or do you just want like a video showing it? Yeah, hurricanes are no joke. Hurricanes are absolutely no joke, ever. Even here, I mean, I'm in Florida, and our thing is, even if you want to watch it, okay, Sylvia, no problem. Even if we don't get hit with the hurricane itself, we might have power outages. And when Irma came through here, 2017 or so, we were out of power for 8 days. So, which is tough for us because I sleep with a BiPAP machine and I can't sleep without it. Awesome, Tracy. Tracy picked up that FPP and killed it, guys. I'm telling you, she killed it. So I will, Sylvia, I may have to try to move this camera so you guys can see what I'm doing on the sewing machine then. But we'll work on that in just a second. Um, yeah. My brain just went. Ugh. We didn't have power for 8 days after Irma, so it wasn't so much that it did so much damage. It did move our shed a foot, and it knocked a refrigerator that was on our porch. Irma might have been 2018, Sylvia. I don't know for sure, but it flew this little refrigerator we had on the side porch of our house all the way across the road. We had to go pick it up out of the field. I'm sure the donkeys and cows weren't real happy with that. So, because when we came home, we had a pig that was super duper pregnant, and she wasn't happy either because we'd been gone for like 4 days. And we had to get our neighbors with a boat to bring us in. And it was hilarious because our road has a little dip in it, and there was so much water. By the time we came back, you could fish. Oh, good luck, Mom, and Pop and Marcus. Hugs. Be careful, please. And I'm glad you checked in. Thank you very much. But we could fish in our road. I mean, there were little fish jumping everywhere. I don't know where the fish went after the water went down. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Laura Lynn. Be careful. So, anyway, I'm going to put my little B button on here. I don't know why the B button. I know everybody's using B's right now, but I'm like, yeah, that's too cute. Okay, so let's see what we can do camera-wise so you guys can see. I'm going to move the camera, so if you're like me and you get dizzy, please cover your eyes or close them. And this is behind my laptop. So let's see if this gives you a decent angle to be able to see. You don't want to look at my garbage can. Whee! Let me move the garbage can. That just doesn't appeal to me at all. Okay. So let's see. What do I have? Looking to see if I have any scraps close by. I don't, but I do have. I have terry cloth, if you guys can see that. Is that a little better? Can you guys all see okay? I know I don't need it hugely big, but I do want 2 layers. See why I love these scissors? Even when Arthur gripes, my scissors still work. My husband was watching one of my replays the other day, and I said something about Arthur, and he goes, "Who's Arthur?" I said, "Well, honey, you know who Arthur is. He's the guy who decides if I'm going to be able to walk or talk today." Isn't it adorable? It is so cute. And like I said, I made a boo boo when I was putting my heat and bond on the back of the fabrics because I wanted like 2 orange and 2 brown, but I think it'll work out fine. And since I'm doing it for me, I'm not going to complain. So if your person who's using it isn't going to complain, oh, these are great. But Kim, were you here? Might have been Thursday. I had the red handled ones out. They're a different brand. They're not as good. They advertise themselves as being just as good as these, but they are not. They are Live and Go brand, and they don't cut all the way to the end. And I'm looking for, I guess I can use orange on the back of this. What do you guys think? Orange on the back for the backing of it? I usually save all of those, but I think I have plenty of them. Iron here and iron this out. Figure it'll probably take about half of this fat quarter to back this, but my baby lock should go through. I don't necessarily need it to be 2 layers of that terry cloth, but it was just as easy to cut. It is an off-brand Marianne Live and Go, but we have some other Live and Go stuff that is accommodations for medical issues. I have a blood pressure monitor and a blood glucose monitor from Live and Go that are both really good. So I thought that maybe the scissors would turn out to be really good too, but they didn't. I'm gonna cut this. See why I love these scissors? They just cut everything. The scissors didn't turn out to be good, but the monitor and the glucose monitor and the heart monitor or blood pressure monitor both turned out pretty well. So I thought maybe. I always have a hard time figuring out which is the right side and which is the wrong side on solids. I guess you just pick one, which is what I normally do. And then, so my backing is bigger than my batting, and my batting is bigger than my picture. And then my little pen bowl back there. You know, I put up a short about this Mr. bottle that I use, and somebody told me they don't like Mr. bottles in the comments. I was like, well, I'm sorry. It works great for me because pumping those little hand pump bottles is tough. And Sassy Steph sent me a small bottle of Best Press in my prize that I won from her for her 300 subscriber giveaway. And I ran out of my regular starch that I keep in that Mr. bottle the other day. And that's what inspired the short because I was like, oh, I can put the Best Press in my Mr. bottle and it goes further, in my opinion. And all I'm doing now is just putting some pins together to hold the 3 layers down so that I can do some applique work on it. And I have that seam between the top and the bottom going down, and I'd like it to stay going down no matter what else I do to this. So I'm pinning it in. Ooh! Oh! No, you don't use gingers for anything else. Yeah, I do have a pair of gingers. My husband bought them for me, and I'm not giving them up, but I can't use them very much either. And I'm looking for the wider foot. I have a 1/4 inch foot on my machine right now, and that's not going to work with a zigzag stitch. I am probably going to go ahead and use the brown thread that I have on the top, though. Was one of the reasons that I put browns in there is because I was thinking I wanted to do some brown applique. I'm going to do zigzag. No, I don't want to do zigzag. Where's Marie? Is she here today? I don't want her beating me up. She might. I do blanket stitch backwards from everybody else. Oh, yeah. Well, I was going to show you guys. My husband, as you guys know, tech support spoils me rotten. And when we first got together, we were discussing, these are my gingers, my dressmaker shears. We were discussing sewing and stuff because he knew a little about it, but he wasn't into it like I am. Oh, Kim, he should die. Aren't they beautiful? But and I have used them quite a bit, but they're hard on my hands these days. So I'm not getting rid of them for any reason, but I don't use them as much as I used to. And anybody who's seen my sewing room video knows that there are like 100 pair of scissors in that little bin over there. And yeah, I'm never at a loss for scissors. That's for certain. All right, so over to the sewing machine. Oops, you guys can go down there. I'm going to try to move you guys in a little closer. So cover your eyes. I don't know if that's still close enough to be able to see really what I'm doing. What I'm going to do, and I'm dumping things in my rope bowl so that they're off the bed of the sewing machine. The one nice thing about this Jazz is that it does have a 12-inch throat plate. So I have room to maneuver this whole thing around in here. And I'm going to start with the outer pieces, and I'm going to put a blanket stitch here. And I did put my knee lift on here, but me and the knee lift haven't quite made peace with one another yet. And it's Marie today. Which she'll be happy about. And the button I just pushed, a allows my needle to stop in the down position. Then I can lift it and pull it free. And I saw, in case you guys missed it this morning, Halo Inspirations has something new in her shop today. Now there's my blanket stitch on my first part. She has the newest Quilt Builder card deck. They've come out with one for HSTs. And, of course, you know, Enabler, Colleen, messaged me this morning and said, "Ooh, check this out," and told me where it was at. So I've already ordered mine. You know, you'll be getting blocks from it. But I ordered it from Angel at Halo instead of ordering from Amazon. Support small business if we can. And she has some other stuff going on in her shop that looked really interesting, but that was the only thing I was ordering today. And then I have a video coming out, I think it's tomorrow evening. Miss Sylvia sent me a picture of a ruler. Well, actually, she sent me a picture of a quilt first that she's working on, made from a basics ruler. And I looked at it, and you guys know I can usually figure out how a block was made, and I couldn't with that one. So I had to message Sylvia and say, "What in the world? How did you do that?" So she sent me a picture of the ruler. And when I got the picture, I was like, well, I've got to make me one of these rulers. So I made one of those rulers, and my first one didn't work real well. So I made a second ruler. And I did the second ruler on camera in case you guys are interested in how to make your own. But the reason that I did it was because I wanted to try that block. And I got the block. Mine still doesn't go together the same way Sylvia's did, but I've got the concept now. I'm going to do this side so I can go ahead and get that little piece fastened down. I'm going to start over here though. So I need a pin to hold that for me. See my little piece of random fabric that isn't laid down? It still needs to be in there. Let's see, what am I missing on the chat? It is the basics ruler. Ah, did you buy it from Angel? Oh, thank you, Colleen. I appreciate you putting that link in for her. It is called the Basics Ruler, BASIX. Amazon has it. It is $16. But from my point of view, I don't know that I want to use it permanently. I don't know that I would use it more than once. So I thought, well, I want to make one. And then if I really like it, then I'll go spend, I think it was $16 for the, there is a gnat flying in here. I think it was $16 for the size that Sylvia had, which is made to go with 2-inch pre-cuts. And then there is one that's made to go with 1.5-inch pre-cuts. And what you do is you make strips. You put together like 3 jelly roll strips. I know you guys can't see that, but there's that little tiny piece of fabric that I can't leave out because otherwise it looks like there's a gap in the side. But the basics ruler and Sylvia's picture, I used it in the video and I used it as the thumbnail with Sylvia's permission. I did ask first. But the reason I did that is I wanted you to see the graphicness of the block. My block doesn't show it as much because I used streaks that were from the same line. And in Sylvia's, you can see that it twists and turns. It's almost like one of those twisty kaleidoscope blocks, if you guys have ever seen those. I thought I had cut it, but I didn't. Well, hello, Lynn. How are you today? Yeah, I'm not a shopper of fat quarter shop, but yeah, that's fine. I don't. I like Reb's Fab Stash better. And somebody, I think it might have been Lynn, who said that Missouri Star Quilt Company recently started doing something where you could add things to your cart for 7 days and then do shipping and or buy things for 7 days in a row and then only pay shipping once. On the seventh day, you had to close it out and ship it. Not even 100% sure how it worked. I just remember her mentioning it in chat. So that might be something worth looking at. But for me, that basics ruler, I was like, would I use it again? And will I enjoy using it to start with? And I've only done so far. It's doing it. Okay, I thought it had stopped doing the stitch I wanted. But I don't know if I'd use that basics ruler again. If it turns out that it looks like something that I'll really enjoy using, then I'll be more than happy to buy it. Right now, I just want to see if it's something I want to use. And I show how to use a homemade ruler too in the video. I don't just say make it this way and then dump you out to learn on your own. When I do a homemade ruler, I always use another regular ruler beside it when I'm cutting. And like I said, it gives you a chance to try it and then decide if you want to buy the more expensive ruler. And about the only time I buy rulers is when it's something like this where I don't think I can recreate the quilt block some other way. Sylvia's is gorgeous. She does have a short on it, I think, and then she sent me that picture. Be great in solid colors. I think my pattern that I used probably doesn't do it. Doesn't show off the quilt pattern as much. They're laughing at Colleen. What did she do now? The HST deck is sold out. Amazon has it, Marianne. And it was a couple of dollars cheaper, but I really wanted to support small business. I really wanted to support Angel, which is why I ordered it from her instead of from Amazon. I didn't mean to hit the camera, guys. Sorry. Now, time to switch. I'm going to free motion part of this. You guys still cool to watch, or? I know Sylvia is, because Sylvia's like me. She likes to watch other people stitch. I'm loving it too, Lynn. Isn't it awesome? Okay, Sylvia. No problem. And this machine is great for some stuff. I didn't pull that out enough. It's not as good for piecing, I don't think, as my Juki, but it's fairly easy to switch around your feet and stuff, despite how it looks right now. That's me, not the machine. That's my hand coordination and not the machine. And I dumped that screwdriver back down in there, even knowing I was going to need it again. You guys just want to laugh at me, right? All right, I'll get that tight enough in there. Okay, and I got to wiggle some stuff. I love this extension table on here. The only thing I don't love on the baby lock is where they put the feed dogs, because you have to pull this out and find the little button back here and then move it to drop your feed dogs. And that's a pain. My shoulder doesn't like that. Okay, so now I'm going to go back down here. I like to put it back on one whenever I free motion. And oh, the other thing about the Baby Lock Jazz, this is the Jazz 2 actually, is I don't like the way it free motions on quilts. It's okay on this, like on a small thing, but when you try to free motion on a quilt, it's a little tougher. I'm going to bring you in a little closer. I'm going to do, there's a little piece right here. I'm just going to go right around it. And I'm not worrying about perfect. I'm just doing it. Okay. And then I'll lift up and I'm going to move over here. And I'm going to work my way around this piece here. It's a little harder for me to see that because the needle is in front. But I'm just going slow. And I'm trying to let my foot follow the outline of the piece of fabric. And I've still got my needle so it goes down whenever I stop. So I can take pins out. Now, the one thing I have discovered about doing free motion is that if you think something looks chintzy, go back over it. Because, like here, the first round I did, I thought looked really funky. So I went back over it, and I think it looks way better the second time. And I'm going to put a little bit of free motion right here at the top of this pumpkin piece, because I didn't blanket stitch across the top. I should have, but I didn't think about it. So now that's down, and I don't have to worry about that piece coming up if I decide to watch it. And then what I'm doing here is I'm not cutting my thread. I'm just moving over so that I can do this part. And this is supposed to be a tendril that's growing out of the pumpkin. I hope you guys can see this. And I'm nowhere near as smooth as some of the other free motion quilters out there. But I figure this is for me, and practice is always fun. I'm sure Sylvia can attest to that. And the brown kind of looks like the veins that you get in a plant. So here's our little applique. Bye, Marianne. Aw, Deborah, I'm sorry your back is hurting. Now, the other thing I may do here is I may go ahead and do just a little line right down the center of that, because I do want to make sure that that piece right there stays down. So let me do that real quick. This time I am going to cut thread rather than jump. Well, Marianne and Deborah, I appreciate you both coming. There's always replay if you want to watch the rest of it later. And I appreciate the people who watch replays just as much as I do the ones who are here live. And feel free to leave comments down below if I didn't answer a question that you have. All right. That applique didn't take me quite as long as I thought it was going to, Sylvia. My tension's way off on the back, but I'm not so worried about that. All right. So there's our little pumpkin. Hello, Gay. How are you today? I know the light is making that show funny. But that's my little wall hanging all quilted up. The back looks horrible, so we'll just flash that at you. We won't show you in detail. And I'm going to move the camera, so cover your eyes. I'm going to move it so that I can see you guys, and you can see me. Back up here where it goes, I hope. It's a roller coaster ride. I know there's a song about that too. Keep your eyes closed. I'm still moving it. Sorry, guys. There we are. Somewhat better anyway. All right. Whee! So that part's all done. It's done. And then I need to square it up and decide what I'm going to do for a border for it. And what I'll probably do is whatever. No, there's not a smiley face on the back. Not on the back of this. Colleen loves my smiley face dudes. I think he did his thing. He got me 33 subscribers yesterday. That was what he was supposed to do. So, yeah, we're all pretty happy about Mr. Smiley. That wasn't what I started out to do. I saw somebody draw a smiley face. Mine doesn't have an auto tie. So I saw somebody draw a smiley face, and I thought, that is the silliest thing ever. It's fun. So I decided I would draw a smiley face. And then I put it up as a short, kind of as a joke. So I was like, there is no logic to YouTube. Let's see. It's picture and then the actual thing. And see, I think that worked out okay, but the fabrics are the same on the two different sides. Yeah, it would be a really cute mug rug. It's a little, than a mug rug, I think, but not, it's like an 8.5 by 11. But I could actually take it down to what, 6 by 9 or something, and it would be really cute. And that is part of my new fabric I just got. Yeah, patchwork pumpkin. And I think he looks way better with the gray polka dot as the tablecloth than he would have with the red and white plaid. So yeah, he is very cute. And like I said, that's a coloring page. The link is in the description box. I put it in there. I think I may have finally figured out how to do lives. Flood watch issued. Oh, lovely. Flooding caused by excessive rainfall is expected. So, and where we live, it floods. I got the picture. It's a free coloring page. The link is in the description, Lynn. And then what we're going to do is we are going to add. Thank you, Colleen. I appreciate that. Colleen's faster than I am. I was going to say smarter, but thank you, Gay. I appreciate that. And then can you see my little. Yeah, there's a delay between when you type it and when I see it. There's a little bumblebee, and I want to put the bumblebee. And of course, he's not going to stay here because I'm going to have to, but that'll hold him in place well enough to see. So now we've got our little bumblebee on there, and I like it. And there was a bumblebee. Yeah, mine too, Sherlock. That's why I used the needle to hold it in place. And that was one of the reasons that I wanted to just get it up there because my hands don't do that well. Yeah, it came out cute, huh? He makes a cute little wall hanging to put up in the kitchen for Halloween or Thanksgiving. You know, because in Florida we have bees and stuff all year long. And like I said, I think that the interpretation came out pretty well. Yeah, that's what I do, Deborah, is coloring pages. That's exactly what this is. It's a coloring page from somewhere. And I look up kids' coloring pages usually because the pictures are less complicated. Yeah, that's a little funky. Sylvia is a whiz at FPP. And see, Sylvia could take this, turn it into an FPP, and it would be perfect. Bye, Lynn. You have a great night. Thank you for coming. Yep. But yeah, the button, holding the button is definitely not something easy. I did the, I guess I moved the button earlier. But I did a buttonhole in a little piece of fabric the other day, and Lynn or Lori, the first thing she said was, "That hurts my fingers to watch." And I was like, "It hurt my fingers to do." So I don't feel so bad about that. But yeah, I mean, I figured let's have some fun. Let's do something that's fun. And yeah, I got to watch that. I got to watch Tracy learn FPP from Sylvia, about an hour. And I got to, throw my 2 cents in there. I wasn't silent because God knows I never shut up. Uh, but it was interesting learning that, and the tips that I got from like Tracy making mistakes and Sylvia going, "Fix this way. You can do this. Don't do that." And Sylvia's big thing is don't rip anything out. So I was like, "Well, how do you get around that?" And she's like, "Oh, do this, do that." That's the kind of instruction that I would need to be able to do FPP permanently. And then for those of you who saw my birthday haul, I got some fabric and I wasn't sure what it was. But I found out today it's coriander. It goes with this. So I tucked that fabric over there in my little bin, and I'm going to put those two charm packs in there. And I'm going to see if I can sit down and figure out something to do with that. Arthritis does stink for sure. But Sylvia's a great teacher. So uh, I'm sure I won't, Sylvia, because you won't let me. Maybe we need to you do an FPP and I do an applique and then we reverse or something. Because I think that that would be fun. But Sylvia's just so laid back and so calm and so quiet. I call her my soft spoken friend because she is. Oh, yeah, Arthur is the worst. Yeah, the pumpkin's too cute. And like I said, the link is in my description box. So you can do the pumpkin FPP, you can do it applique, however you want to. Tracy, I'm not sure I'm as adept as you are, and this is not the week. Um, Maybe after Ian passes. This week, Melissa is dealing with my hands are going numb and my shoulders hurting, and I'm just trying not to, because of barometric. If I could speak today, I keep flubbing up words. The barometric pressure from a hurricane fluctuates, and I'm really feeling those fluctuations right now. And they just issued a flood watch for my county, which means that I probably need to find out from emergency management what we're looking at. Because if we're looking at a foot or so of water, that's cool. If we're looking at, 6 feet of water, we're going to be probably sitting on the roof. Yeah, that's what it is. It's the barometric pressure and the rain. Because we've had nonstop rain every day for about 2 weeks, but it switches around whenever you've got a hurricane out there. Yeah, I took pain medicine right before I came on, Tracy, and I'm probably going to have to take some more when I get off. But I got through the applique without losing it. So yeah, Deborah, we thought about moving to Michigan, and now that I look back on that, I think, what were we on crack or what? Because that probably would be the worst thing I could do. And I would like to have a wood burning stove if we move somewhere where it gets cold, because you want heat no matter what. But that would probably flare my asthma and my COPD. So I'm like, okay. Yeah, and Kim, I don't have the official fibromyalgia diagnosis, but I pretty much have it. Illinois, yeah, that's colder than where I was looking at. I think Illinois gets it because of, don't you aren't you like right on Lake Michigan too? I'm gonna get a drink. Thank you, Colleen. Yeah, if you haven't given me a thumbs up, appreciate it. So, and I'm working on getting to 1,000. Fingers crossed. And I'm dragging all my friends with me. So if you haven't subscribed to Sylvia and Stephanie and Colleen and Tracy from Craft a Simple Life, if you haven't subscribed to all those people, go check out their channels and see if what they're doing appeals to you. Yeah, exactly, Kim. The extreme temperature kicks everybody. Yeah, pretty much, Colleen. The only benefit I got from going through all the poking and prodding for Arthur is that they got me on a medication that has um, moved the flares from to it helps prevent the worst of them. There were before I started on Plaquenil. Um, I frequently had days where I couldn't walk because one or the other of my knees was just out of out of order. I mean, getting up to go to the bathroom was a real ordeal, and yeah, those incidents don't happen as much. I did have some problems with my hip earlier, but or earlier in the week, but nowhere near as bad as it used to be with my knee. And Colleen's and Kim are trying to get everybody's links in because we are getting ready to go. I've been on more than an hour. I didn't intend to be on so long. I'm sorry. And did you get everybody, Colleen? Yeah, I appreciate that. Did somebody put up Kim's link? There we go. We got to honor the queen of troll hunters, guys. She is the best. A Nightbot come in, and what it was doing wasn't triggering the. Yeah, my this shoulder all the time, Deborah. It's just a matter of how bad does it hurt. And then here, the last couple of weeks, it's been my left hand, but that's better. Like a month ago, it was like my entire left arm was useless. I walked around all day going, ah. So I'm kind of glad it started. Okay, guys. Yes, Sylvia, go download that pack. It's just a coloring page and then turn it to FPP. Yes, Tracy, you are. Well, I guess I need to make you your own bot command. All right, guys. You all have a great day. It was great talking to you. I hope that you enjoyed watching me do this little FPP, or not FPP, applique pumpkin. And the picture itself is available in the description box. I'll leave that link there for you. You can make it however you like. I did mine my way. You do yours your way. And me and my little bee button are going to say goodbye for now. And y'all have a great day. I love you. Bye.